and welcome to the Rocket Launcher Podcast, episode 123. 123. I am your host, Supreme King, and join with me as always is my co-host, and his name is...
This Shigayo Mazes. 123 is crazy.
123. Yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy because I don't really think about how many of these that we've done. Because I just feel like we just get on here and just, have a conversation and then we just go home. But anyways, let's jump right into it, man. Hottest topic that came out today.
Yeah.
Last week, one of the episodes, or the episode last week, I called it the Switch 2 leak, right? You said you didn't want to see any leaks. You wanted to see the official thing. Well, technically, it's the same thing. It was exactly what I saw in the leak, but they showed the official video. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Nintendo was mad because they ain't have like the hello.
Oh yeah, they was.
Come check out our next. They were just like, here it is, since you all already know about it. Get out of our face. Y'all ruined the reveal. We didn't get to do the special video. Didn't get to talk to y'all with the little clicks.
Yeah.
Like y'all, they're just mad.
The video was okay. I don't think that they was ready for, because it seemed like it was like they threw together a second or a different type of CGI video. But they really don't want to talk about it until April, that direct that they're going to do. But basically, the Switch 2 is here, kinda. It's at least shown to you. It's exactly what I said. Yeah, it's exactly what I said last week. It was just like a bigger tablet. And then the Joy-Cons got a little bit more going on with them, basically.
Dog, that whole little side thing where it's like, yeah, then it just clicks onto here. That's gonna break on so many people's Switches too. Like,
for real?
That's gonna be. I feel like that thing is gonna be the number one reason why the Switch 2 needs to be like fixed or sent back for a replacement or something. People are just going to break that. In my head, I feel like that's what it's gonna be.
Well, the game on the screen, for anybody who don't know, if you're living under a rock that I just threw, if you just saw the footage, this is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Anybody who's like, wow, what game?
Yeah, I'm way farther in the game now, if anybody wanted to know. This is some really early footage. I've had this footage for a really long time and just don't really post this game. But obviously it made sense to pull out some Nintendo footage today, and I had pulled out Kirby last week. So a big part of this episode actually is this footage, and then I got some more footage of your footage, but I don't know if we're ever going to get to. But
did you see the memes for the Switch 2?
I mean, I've been kind of seeing some of the stuff for a while. Yeah, for the past weeks.
This guy had like a fake then and now exercise like weight loss photo, where it's like him saying like, before, and it's him, and then for the after, he's just standing like farther back to try and give the illusion that he's skinnier and that he's different. And like everybody was saying that's the Switch in the Switch 2. Or like a lot of people were just going, it's the same thing.
I am very curious to see how the market responds to it, because of course the hardcore and anybody that's searching for this stuff, they're in the know and they understand. But if you remember the hurdle that they had going from the Wii to the Wii U, people thought it was just an add-on to the Wii. And what's crazy is at the time, the Wii U visibly looked different. It didn't look like the same system. But this looks identical. It don't look like there is anything. It looked like
the 3DS to the 3DS XL. That's what
it looked like. It looked like the OLED, basically. Like, it looked like they basically took some of the idea of the OLED, and it was just like, well, we have the magnetic, Joy-Cons. I don't think they mentioned that the Switch 2 is going to have a OLED screen. I don't know if it was mentioned. I know I saw.
Anything about the screen.
I saw a big spec leak, but I didn't really look at it like that because I was just like, whatever. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna show their own games. Now, one of the games that they did sort of show or preview in a way, like a teaser, was one of the games that I was predicting was gonna launch with it, which was like a new Mario Kart. They didn't officially say it was Mario Kart 9, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. They just sort of showed some footage, right, of them just starting a race. Is this a day one buy after you've seen this?
Nope.
It's still not a day one buy. You're not sold on it?
One, I'm not sold on it. I feel like this is like PS5 to PS5 Pro. I know it's gonna have its own exclusive games, but I need to see what they are first. And to be honest, I have a back catalog on Switch.
Yeah.
And it's not like I do like the fact that it is backwards compatible mostly.
Yeah.
It did say some games ain't gonna work. Which I don't like that, but it did you know, it's even though it is backwards compatible and we can see what the new games are, maybe down the line I'll get one if like I really want those new games.
Yeah.
But like I have not played my Switch enough to justify jumping to another one. Because then it's just gonna be more tech sitting around.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see what release first. And I want there to be more like Switch 2 exclusives that are just like I can't play it on my normal Switch. Anything that comes out, if I can play it on my normal Switch that I already got, I'm sticking to it. But it's eventually when we start getting, oh, I can't play that, and I really want to, then I'll consider it. But it also depends on the price. What about you?
I don't really think I want to buy a day one per se, but if it's available, I would. I did think I saw somewhere where they're planning to have 20 million units out there for the launch, which is very good because that sounds like it would be very hard for a scalper to scalp it. So I'm happy to hear that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's 100% scalpable, or non-scalpable, right? But I don't know what the price is. I would like to see what the price is going to be. That's not too much of an issue for me. The only problem that I would have is kind of like what you said before. Like you feel like it's a PS5 to a PS5 Pro. Yep. I feel like it will be on paper, just like how some of the PlayStation games were, where it's supposed to be a better machine, but some development probably still can't get you the 60 frames that you're looking for.
Yep.
Because that's the thing right now with next gen games. The Gotham Knights situation, where it's like, here's a next gen game that had some momentum because of the name value of it, but out of nowhere they were just like, it's 30 frames and we just don't have a last gen version, but it basically is the last gen version. Right. If certain games are like that, that's just kind of not acceptable to me. We've seen in the last half of the Switch 2 or the Switch 1's life cycle where games will come out on the Switch. It's 100% supposed to be a Switch exclusive, despite whatever you're doing on your computer. On paper, it's supposed to be a Switch exclusive, but the Switch couldn't handle its own game, basically. Right. Even with like reveal trailers, like I remember the original Bayonetta 3 trailer was really bad, right? The performance looked terrible, and it was like it almost seemed like it really wasn't the game's fault and that it was the system's fault. And so it's supposed to have more power, and I'm sure it will. I'm just wondering, like, that's the one thing that I want to see people like really test, like really benchmark. But like, what do you benchmark on there, really? You know, because it's just like, well, here's Mario Kart or something. It's like, are you really gonna, like, at the same time, people are just not gonna care that much. But I do want to see the price. One of the big questions that I have is, can I take my existing Switch and put it in that dock? I don't necessarily need it to like make it better, but can I at least dock it and then it just works like a regular Switch? Because
of the size, it won't be able to even fit. Like if it does, you can get it in, but you won't be able to get it out.
Right. Even though it's magnetic Joy-Cons, can I still slide the Joy-Cons into the old one Little
No, because
questions
the
like
thing's
that
sticking out.
because they're bigger.
No, because of the thing sticking out.
Oh.
So like, even though it's magnetic, it seems like it's like a plug click
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. So I don't think they slide, and because I think they're bigger, I don't think it'll fit on the old one. I wonder if they can connect to the old one, like separate, where if you hold it by hand, a little
Mm-hmm.
controller setup. Um, Same with the reverse. I wonder if the first ones will connect to the second one via Bluetooth. Where if you just have like a controller
Mm-hmm.
setup, but I don't know if it's going to be able to connect, like plug into it.
I
Just
would
based off what
still, yeah, I do still want to have my like old Switch dock into the new one only because I did want to have a second dock at one point. And the only reason I didn't was because the dock price altogether to buy all the parts officially from Nintendo was like $90, which was basically $100. And I was just like, $100 for a second dock is crazy.
it is.
Like,
That bad boy
but
should be like 30.
yeah, but it's like, okay, if I can get a next gen one, then I got a dock in my computer area, and then I got a dock in the TV area in the next room, right? And so I'm kind of a little versatile, right? So that's a big thing that I'm wondering about. But I'm excited to see the big launch of certain games. I do think that they're still going to launch with like 3 or 4 titles.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see that. So I think it's probably good to. It's probably like, I don't want to say confirmed, but we can pretty much assume that they're going to launch with a Mario Kart. So
Yeah, they wouldn't put it in the trailer. But I feel like the only way it won't is if when the Switch is like scheduled for release, something happens and Mario Kart's not ready or something.
yeah,
That's the only thing I can think of. And I feel like they would even do something where it's like, you buy the Switch 2 and it comes with a voucher and you're able to download Mario as soon as it's ready. Like something like that.
yeah. Nintendo though is known for having certain types of games that's very ready.
Yeah,
When
true.
it's
Right.
specifically Mario though, like
Yeah, they're
they
probably not
make
gonna.
sure that thing. There's no way Mario Kart's gonna come out and he needs a patch.
You're right.
Like
You're
there's
right.
no way.
I did just see this. So I don't know how 100% true it is, but Culture Crave is usually correct from Twitter.
Uh-huh.
But yes. Um, so based off of them, they said the Okami creator, Hideki Kamiya, called out the crappy leakers over the Nintendo Switch 2, and he says, "I hope all of the people who leaked Switch 2 information and those who helped leak it will be cursed for the rest of their lives to always have poop on the soles of their shoes when they get home. The worst of scum, they should be covered in shite from head to toe and thrown out of the atmosphere and then stop thinking and wander forever. They need to be crushed as soon as possible." I think he's a
Jeez.
little pressed about the leak.
I mean, like, let's say there was no leak though. Like, really though, what else was people really expecting this thing to look like? Like, if you just logically think about it, the whole middle would have had to been a tablet. It couldn't have been anything else. What was people thinking they was gonna see? Like every handheld right now, the whole middle is just simply a screen. It's a screen and 2 controllers, basically. So I don't know what people was probably like trying to shield themselves from. Like the big reveal was the Switch 1. This is just straightforward. Like everybody should have known what was gonna happen. Like I think we spoke briefly on the Lenovo Legion Go 2 or whatever. I'm still in the camp where I wish the Switch was more like that one, because that one looks a little bit more beefier. It's a little bit more thicker, and you know it has the power. The specs that they have on that thing, that's what I wish the Switch 2 would have, but they never really need to focus too much on power anyway. That's not really their focus. Their focus is just to put out the same games they've been putting out forever, right? I will say I like the all black look. And I do like the red inside and the blue inside inside the Joy-Cons or whatever. I like that look. I am actually still in the camp though where I think when I get the Switch 2, I want mine to be one of the specialty ones. I don't know if I want an all black one because my Steam Deck's all black.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't mind getting one of the special colors, you know, with a game or something, whatever it is. But when I do get mine though, I will probably buy the top 3 games that they come out with when I get it, which is probably going to be that 3D Mario, whatever it is, and then the Mario Kart 9, and probably Metroid Prime 4. I think that's going to be probably the only cross-gen title. But what about you? What are you thinking about this?
About the Switch 2?
Yeah, like, are you going to buy Mario Kart with it? Is that like one of the starter games for you, or what do you think?
I mean, unless it comes out, like, for whatever reason on Switch 1 as well, which I doubt. But if it does, I'll just get it for Switch 1. If not, then, yeah, when I eventually get it, it'll probably be that, whatever Pokemon games are exclusive for it. And of course, you know, the next Legend of Zelda. Like, you know, you get a guy to get the starters.
Yeah, I'm a lot farther in Tears of the Kingdom now.
Bro, I still play Breath of the Wild. I started a long time ago. Like, when the Switch came out and Breath of the Wild dropped, I had it. And about a month later, I started it and was consistently playing and then just stopped. And then about a year and a half later, I tried to hop back on. Couldn't remember what I was doing. Didn't know where I was. Didn't know where I was supposed to be going. Cut it off. And then about a year later, again, I tried it again. And still forgot. I don't know why I didn't just restart then. So I'm just going to restart it. Because I wasn't, like, that far. And I'm going to be losing a lot. But better than, like, not knowing what I'm doing anymore. Like, I think I'm at the point where you kind of get to choose what you want to do. And I just don't know. But, like, I am so far behind on that. I didn't even pick up. Because I had that and I bought the Link's Awakening. And again, that was another one I started, but then, like, got into something else. So I told myself I'm not getting Tears of the Kingdom until I beat both of those.
I'm enjoying Tears of the Kingdom right now where I don't feel like there's no game that I'm playing where I'm like, I want to wait to play it on a Switch too. I feel like I just would play it on the Switch. I don't look at their games as me needing all the power. I still want the Switch 2 to have power, but I don't feel like I need to play the upgraded version of a game. Like, you know how PlayStation was really pushing like the PS5 version of this is like so much better and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like with the Switch especially, I just feel like I can just play the regular version of the game. So
to be honest, there was only one game where I felt the difference for the PS5 versus the PS4, and that was Outriders.
okay.
It wasn't necessarily the gameplay, it was the loading. Like, loading on the PS5 was like 5 seconds. Loading on the PS4 was about 48 seconds. Right? So there was like a huge difference there. Like, it was very noticeable. Every other game I hit, for me, like, maybe if I'm really paying attention for some, like, graphical stuff in the background, I might notice it. But, like, I'm not really staring, like, at a puddle if I'm in the middle of combat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, a lot of it, I didn't even notice the big upgrade difference between the PS5 and the PS4, personally. Maybe if I play them side by side, I'll be able to point a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah.
But just, like, an immediate looking, it was really, like I said, on the Outriders, where it was just like, oh, my God, like, this needs to be on this system. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of that for Switch and Switch 2.
I can tell with the loading for sure.
Get upgraded. I feel like they might not. Maybe it'll just be it plays as is.
Yeah. I wonder about that too, because I know with the PS4 to the PS5, it was such a big emphasis on 60 FPS, 60 FPS, 60 FPS. I don't even know if that's their thought process per se. They might let the internet just do their own testing on everything, but I don't think they're going to lead with that and like brag about having games at 60 FPS. I think they're just gonna be like, here's our Switch 2 games, basically.
I honestly feel like this is again 3DS versus 3DS XL. This is bigger screen.
Yeah. The main thing though is I'm still interested when it comes down to like a mom trying to get a system for her kid and maybe a few casuals. Like, will they be able to know the difference? That's the thing. Maybe it might be up to the sales rep to say something, but I don't even know if the sales rep is gonna even go there like that. But in the long run, it's gonna do probably fine.
Because I remember getting the game, I just needed the regular one, and like, cause like the deluxe only came with like some outfit choices, and they were so good. You're like, you don't want the deluxe one, and I'm like, no, but like you could tell, it's like they don't even know what was in the deluxe one.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they're like, are you sure? Because I'm about to close this up. Like, you don't want the deluxe one. It's sitting right there. You just want this one, and it's like, yes, that's all. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so. Yeah.
Because I actually think too that even though one of them is called the Switch 2, that a parent might not understand still that this one doesn't play, or like certain games can't play on the other one, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're like, it says Switch. Go play on the Switch.
Yeah, it's like this one cheaper. That's the game you want. Like, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a few people out there that buys Switch 2 games and buys a Switch because the Switch was cheaper. I'm almost positive that's gonna happen. And a person will sit there and ring them all up and just let them walk right out the door and not even say nothing. Are they gonna go bankrupt over this? No, I don't think that that's gonna happen. I know they were really in a big bind off of the Wii U, but the DS really saved them at that time. I think they're okay, and I think they're going to be okay in the long run. I'm just wondering how long it's going to take for people to say that this thing is outdated as well, because it's still, from the leaks that I saw, it's still somewhat underpowered, but right now it has the hype of being the new shiny new toy, right? But when it comes down to it, we'll see how good it's gonna be. I guess we can move on.
Nintendo is not trying to attract the high power, high tech people.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like they're just doing stuff for the people who are gonna buy it anyways. Right? Like they're Nintendo loyal. They're just focused there.
Yeah. Sorry, my throat is killing me, but that's okay. Winter weather, right? But
yeah.
I think I am going to be interested in it. I want to say though, the Joy-Cons, even though they're a little bit more gimmicky and stuff and they're bigger, I still feel like I don't want to play with them. Basically, I'm still a pro controller person. I need the docket and I need a pro controller. I can't do that because they still have, like, now the Joy-Cons are supposed to have Hall effect Joy-Cons, so they shouldn't drift, but they're still little. They're still flimsy. They look like it's still. I always feel like I could just break it. You know what I mean? I for little games, the little retro games and stuff, it worked. Like on the other handheld, the Ambernic 40, what was it? Ambernic RGXX40, whatever it's called. It works on there. Yeah, it works on there. Yeah, but for modern games, it's like, I don't know.
RG40XX.
Yeah, shout out to RG40XX. But yeah, I need a pro controller. I'm still gonna be using pro controllers. I still want to know. I do think you'll be able to link your old controllers, no pun intended, to the new controller or to the new system remotely. Okay. But I don't think you're gonna be able to use the you're not gonna be able to use the old Joy-Cons on the new system and stuff like that. It ain't gonna be that customizable. But yeah, man, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm kind of excited for Nintendo a little bit. It is a little disappointing that it was just such a big leak. Like, basically their first commercial that they made, It was completely leaked. The mock-up of it, the doc was exactly the same. Every little thing, it was just like there was nothing really for them to like say, hey, surprise. But I guess it is what it is. I will get it like anybody else. It just might not be day one. But for the last thing we could say on it, what do you think the price is going to be?
How much was the Switch one again?
300.
300? Yeah,
the main one.
400.
400? Okay. Yeah. I think you're probably right. 400 seems about right, and that's kind of crazy because then eventually you're going to do the Switch Lite, and that's probably going to be 300. Switch 2 Lite. Switch to OLED might be pushing 450. But yeah, we can move forward. Real quick, tell me about the more information that you got for the Until Dawn movie.
Yeah,
whatever you want to say.
Last time I talked about how for Until Dawn they're going to be doing their own storyline, and it's like, well, why call it Until Dawn? They talked more about it, and since for the game it's like, you know, all based off of choices, they said they're going to be doing the story and they kind of want to do something different because they want it to be an ending that like you don't get while like playing. They didn't want it to just be like rehash the game from what you're playing. But what they also decided is basically going to be horror movie Groundhog Day. So it's like
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, where the people are going to be in this, like wherever they're located, like in the house or whatever, and their job is to survive until dawn. So then, like, if one of them dies, time pretty much like resets, and they have to try and like survive again, over and over. So that's what they're kind of going with, which to me is a cool movie concept, but not if you're saying this is Until Dawn, the game.
Right.
Like at this point, it's just I feel like the way they're describing it is almost like the only reason why they're trying to connect it to the game is because they wanted the title. Like they wanted PlayStation to fund it, and they wanted the title Until Dawn because it sounds catchy. But it's like you're not, you know, it's just if that's not the premise of the game. There's a big twist in the game that I'm not going to spoil for anyone who hasn't played it yet. But based off of what they showed, it's like you're going to kind of not do that, which is also weird. It's the main plot, and you're using original characters. And it's like, so this guy had nothing to do with the game. And you're just like, yeah, we're going to make this movie. But I'm probably going to still check it out because I like the premise of what they're doing. I just don't like that they're trying to say it's based off of the video game.
Right. I haven't played the game yet, but that is on my list of games to play that I think was given away from PlayStation.
I need it during one sitting. I don't want to like play it and then like come back to it a week later.
Yeah.
Those type of games I like to back until it's done. Which was like Heavy Rain and.
Ain't that still the game they just recently did a remaster for, where people said they can't even tell the difference and it wasn't even playing right?
Yep. Because they didn't need a remaster. Like they said they remastered it from PS4 to PS5, and people didn't tell the difference. And then from PS5 to PS5 Pro, was like it's a choice-driven game with like that was working just fine. It just they should have just left it alone. But I feel like they kept doing that because they're also trying to hype up the movie. They're trying to keep it fresh on people's heads.
Well, all right. Well, for the people out there, they should play the game first and then watch the movie, right?
Yes.
Is that what we're saying? Okay.
Yep. Play the game first. Because like, apparently the movie is supposed to be designed where the people who played the game can still enjoy it. So I don't know how much of the video game it's gonna like really like, you know, ruin, and I don't know how much of it's gonna be different. So I would say play it originally how it was supposed to be. That's the game.
All right. Well, I'll look forward to it. Because it's still horror based for anybody who's not aware, right? We're still talking like
it's still a horror movie.
A horror movie. So that should be fun. I'm still a big fan of horror movies, and I hope they don't butcher it too much. But anyways, I kind of want to do the middle of the show thing right quick, and just talk about Epic Games real quick. Our unofficial sponsor. 123 episodes in. They owe us a lot of money at this point, and we haven't seen a penny yet. But anyways, unofficial sponsor, we just usually give a shout out to Epic Games for providing a bunch of free games. Hopefully you were there in the middle of the holiday season for Christmas going into New Year's, because they gave away like 17 games at that point, 16 or 17. They do it every year. So we're kind of on the aftermath of that, and they're just sort of back to their regular routine. But the first game that they gave out was Escape Academy, which is available right now, and that's going through to January 23rd. I actually put a notation in here for myself that this is one of the games that I had already owned, that they given out in the past. So they kind of double dipped here. Did you already own this? Do you know if you already own this?
Yep, I did. When I clicked on it today, it was like in library.
Yeah. So you know what? Free is free. I can't be mad at it. It wasn't like I paid into some sort of subscription. It's just like, here it is for free, right? And then the next game that's going to be available from January 23rd through to January 30th is called Behind the Frame, The Finest Scenery. Almost sounds like a play or something. So I'm not really too sure, but it's free. When that date comes around, just go claim it. Are there any like sales or anything that you paid attention to this week? Anything we need to know from Amazon Prime?
No, nothing new.
Okay. I didn't really have any sales either. I think, once we come in off of the holiday season and everything goes back to normal, you don't really got that many sales. I guess there might have been some stuff here and there on Steam, but I didn't really check. I had a very busy 2 weeks. So I didn't really see anything. So we can move on. I do want to mention within this segment, one of your topics, because this was something I actually knew for a while. GTA 6 is not going to be on PC at launch. I didn't know you didn't know that.
Not like in my head, it was PS5, Xbox, and PC. So maybe it's just me, because a lot of people, I'm talking like I heard somebody say it, and I was like, no, it's not PC, and they're like, nah, it's only on a console. Because someone was talking about how they plan on getting consoles just for that. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? I had to look it up. I did not know GTA was not dropping on PC, and I don't get why.
It's only just at launch. It's not that it's not dropping at all. They will probably come out with it. Well, first of all, we don't have a definitive date for the console release. The most that we know is that the console release is supposed to be first. And we know it's mainly Xbox and PlayStation 5. And so Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. But literally, this was the game that a lot of people were trying to justify the PS5 Pro for. Because they were just trying to say, like, well, technically on paper or logically speaking, this system is supposed to be the most powerful system. And so it would be the best way to play GTA 6. And so that's what a lot of people were banking GTA 6 on, playing it on the PS5 Pro. But I do think GTA 6 is going to show up on PC at the very least 1 year later. Because literally, I was just going to say, that's how they get all their microtransactions, all them shark cards, and how GTA 5 is like trending in the top selling games just randomly again and again for so many years. It's because of the PC market. Everybody online doing all that RP stuff with all their characters and stuff. So there's no way they're going to alienate them for that long. They're definitely going to bring them in, because those are the ones who bring them the money in the long term. But
do we have an idea why it's not dropping at launch?
I don't know what they said. Maybe they just maybe it could be from what we were saying for many times before. Just developers might not just be able to do it. I don't know. But I do know the PC side is how they make their money on the long run. And I'm hearing that they're projecting to make billions of dollars, billions with a B, in the first week, is what they were saying.
I sadly imagine, I guess not sadly, the game's worth it, it's worth it. But I do imagine that, like, you feel like this is just gonna be what everyone's playing, what everyone's talking about.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be an annoying week when it releases.
Oh yeah. Annoying week. Literally, no other game could practically release within months of this. Like, this game will win Game of the Year. It will win almost every other category as well. It's going to be the most selling game. It might even hurt the Switch.
Yeah. The only way it will not win, it has to release and just not work. Like, you have to try to log in and just crash.
I don't think that would be the issue. I think what will probably turn people off, maybe, is if they pull a fast one and be like, this is the first ever $100 game at launch just because.
Oh, yeah.
It would be the only game that might get away with it, but at the same time, it's $100. Because that was a rumor for a long time, was that it would be 100.
I feel like it's going to ruin it for a lot, but not enough people to justify them not doing it.
Yeah.
There's going to be people who's like, oh, it's just 30 more bucks, but it's going to be the only game I play, so who cares?
Yeah, the game it's going to, I was telling somebody literally today, this game is going to disrupt the economy. And the reason why is because I was telling somebody that people sometimes call off work to play games. Yeah, I am honestly believing, I believe wholeheartedly that people are going to just flat out quit jobs to play this game. I believe it. People are going to quit. People are going to move back in with parents. People are going to just basically devolve to play this one particular game. It's going to mean more to them than actual things in real life. I actually believe it. I believe it. GTA is just in a whole league in itself. That if you could only play GTA exclusively on a particular console, like they just made a whole nother console that only plays GTA, like a Rockstar console, and they never come out with another console, another game on there, people would buy that console and they will play GTA. Yeah. It's just that game. It is what it is. But yeah, man, people gonna quit jobs. I'm so serious. We're gonna see a drop off for real.
I had a coworker a while back who he would always be like, hey guys, I won't be able to come in, like I'm sick, not feeling well, blah blah blah. And I'll get to work and they'll say that, and I was like, oh, did Destiny just drop their new expansion? And they'll look it up, and Destiny dropped the new expansion that day. Like, you always timed out when he wasn't gonna be there for the Destiny expansions. That's gonna be mass because there's gonna be a bunch of people. Yeah. They're gonna have to be like, I gotta call in sick. They're gonna be like, no, you don't. Come into work. Just put on a mask or something. Because we already know.
So that's when people gonna flat out quit. They just gonna quit. The game is just that big of a game. So yeah, it is what it is on that. We can probably move on to which I think is probably our last real topic here. So we saw a new game, we saw a new CGI trailer. I think we just watched it. It was my first time watching it. You've seen it probably a few times before. This was the game called The Blood of DawnWalker. And I thought it was a very cool looking game, very dark. It sent a certain message right away, like, hey, this ain't no kiddie game, nothing to be messed with. This is serious.
When Homeboy said, he was like, please, she's just a child. And he's like, Roger, tell me, do I discriminate with children? He's like, no, sir. And he's like, yeah, that'd be foolish. And I was like, yo, this guy means business.
Yeah. Yeah. So they give you not too long to wait for this. This is coming out literally this summer, according to them.
It's coming out this summer.
Oh, the gameplay trailer. I'm disappointed now.
Yeah, they showed off a cinematic trailer, and they said they're going to be doing a major gameplay trailer this summer. Okay. I think it's still scheduled to be released this year. I honestly feel like it's not going to be ready by summer, but I feel like they're also trying to track down when GTA is going to get announced, like where their actual date is.
Yeah.
And try and make sure it comes out like a month or two before it.
No, it's probably. I think any game can just come out with trailers during GTA season, but they don't want to put their
Oh yeah.
game out during GTA
Well,
season.
like, can you imagine if they announced, "Hey, this bad boy's dropping September 8th," and then you find out, "Hey, GTA's dropping September 1st." Like,
Yeah, forget
I feel
about it.
like they will straight up if it's ready September 8th, and then GTA announces, they'll just hold their game back. They'll be like, "It's
Yeah,
released in 2026."
you better. You better hold your game back. I don't care what it is. You better hold that thing back. I don't care how popular you
Yep.
think it is. You better hold that thing back. Cause I fully expect Nintendo to have their launch and to have their Mario this, Mario that, but I honestly think that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to hurt the Switch too. As much
Probably.
as I think it's gonna hurt it. I think it's just such a monster of a title because there's so many people. You know what's crazy about Twitch? As watching people Twitch stream, there are people who are playing that game that were like not even. They were like in elementary school when that game first came out. And it's like
Yeah.
normally when people see games, they'll think like, "Oh, this is an old game." It's like this game translated to a whole new group of kids that never grew up with it or anything. They just like Grand Theft Auto 5 is their first Grand Theft Auto, and they're
Bro, some
just
of them,
simply
it's
playing
not
it.
even 5. It's just Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yeah, is they're playing it and they call it RP. They've changed the name, and Rockstar has not officially changed the name. It's still Grand Theft Auto 5, but they call it Grand Theft Auto RP. Like that's what they call it for role playing. It's just
So yeah.
it's a whole new game to a whole nother people. So when the next one comes out, it's just gonna be that much more crazy. It's gonna be so many people playing it. It's gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to it. We weren't supposed to be talking about that. We were supposed to be talking about the
Yeah, so
Dawnwalker.
it's a vampire game disguised as a dark fantasy made by Rebel Wolf, where the guy in charge of that was one of the directors at CD Projekt Red.
Yeah,
So he was part of The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk
yeah,
development, better or worse. So I don't know. The game looks cool. It looks like you're gonna have some vicious, violent vampire powers. And because they're calling you a Dawnwalker, that probably means you're gonna be able to walk throughout the day. So it might be like some you're trying to do stuff throughout the day to get ready to fight at night, or you're the vampire who attacks the bad guys during the day.
yeah. I'm interested. I am gonna wish list it and follow it, see how it progresses and stuff. And so, summer 2025, I would imagine it might be at either Summer Games Fest, which is
Oh
Jeff
yeah,
Keighley's show, or maybe one of the other like fake E3 shows or something, like the Xbox show or something like around that time. We'll see the actual gameplay trailer, but I am going to wish list it. I'm going to follow it because I like the stories that are not too kiddie. That's just me, but I
and
always
that's it.
found it silly to have a family-friendly M-rated game or a family-friendly R-rated movie. It's like no. So this was right. It had a certain amount of darkness to it that I liked, maturity to it that I like. So yeah, man, I'm gonna probably cop this. I was saying to you that it might be the next Black Myth Wukong, because I thought that Black Myth Wukong just appealed to a certain crowd
Yeah,
that was like a little bit more mature, and maybe this game is gonna appeal to the same type of crowd. Because the combat almost looked for a split second, they teased it for a split second. It looked like it was gonna have like some basic combat that was similar to it. So I look forward to, man. Is that one a day one buy? Do you think of course you need to see a little bit more, but do you think it's going to be in a top 5 category for you?
I think so. I'm a big vampire fan, like mythology, vampire stuff.
Okay.
Um, I think so. Like, it looks really good. I love me some action RPGs of like God of War and things like that. This might be a day one buy this year. If it or next year, whenever it comes out, but this might be a day one.
Hey, that's cool. Maybe it might. It's funny. We about to restart this talk again. Maybe it might be on one of the game of the year categories. We'll see.
Really?
But currently there's no game period that is in that category. But we'll see going forward. We'll start making and compiling a list and starting to review with everybody like what games are going to be on that list, and we'll be surprised if this one shows up. I would think it would be dope if it shows up. But yeah, is that our show, man? Is that it? You said it wasn't gonna be long.
I think so.
Or you said it was gonna be longer. Nah, man, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I guess some side dirt news.
Okay.
Things. Daredevil Born Again trailer dropped.
Okay.
So Disney now, and they decided to make that bad boy rated R.
Hey.
It is violent. It looks really good.
Yeah, kick the kids out. We don't need no kids in any theater. No kids playing any of these games. Kick them all out. Kick them all out. You don't need it.
Help was that what's his name? Deadpool, Wolverine did well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that was like their main first rated R sort of thing. Because they like to go T for teen, but because that did so well, they're like, all right, we can go ahead and do this. So yeah, that looks good. Also, there's a new anime out. Have you heard of an anime? They like to do the thing where the name is really long, but it's called The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventure in Another World.
Okay.
So it just started. So there's only like 1 or 2 episodes out right now. But the idea is that there was a Super Sentai team, and some villain accidentally does some spell, and the Red Ranger ends up separated and lost in like a fantasy Dungeons and Dragons type world, where they all use like classic magic and there's like wizards and like all of that stuff. And then he's a Power Ranger, so he's like full on like mech suit, got a Zord, like tech and all of that other stuff. And they just don't understand how his magic works. And he's like all heroic there too, but he's like brash and like he's like ready to fight and just jumps in to save the day no matter what. And then, like a fantasy world thing, they said it was like one of the things he does is like in the fantasy world, you beat a villain and you can collect their like bones and things like that to sell.
Oh,
like
man.
Dungeons and Dragons sort of thing, where it's like, oh, we killed this like major monster and everything. The monster tusk is going to be worth money. But when he destroys things, like the Power Rangers, they explode and like turn to dust. So he's like ruining their money as well. He doesn't pull punches or anything like that. They even showed a clip where he morphs and it does the explosion behind him and it hits the princess and knocks her out. So they're like, don't stand too close when a Power Ranger morphs. But yeah, I'm waiting for a few more episodes to drop before I start checking it out. But between that, Go-Go Loser Ranger, and then there's been like sprinkles here and there throughout time, but now it's like there's 2 kind of both running. Like, I hope they get popular enough. It's nice to see it.
All right, cool. Look forward to seeing more about it or hearing more about it. But that is our show. We are done this week. We will feature some more stuff as more things get leaked or revealed or however. And yeah, man, that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.